All right, so you started running a little while ago and you're excited to pump up the distance. But as you do, you start to find that, oh my gosh, I'm not as fit as I thought I was. I can't run as far as I should be able to. What's wrong with me? How do I do it? Where do we go? Hey, just you stop. You stop right there. Don't panic. Everything's okay. You're in good company. And that's why today I'm going to share with you 10 simple ways that you can run for a longer distance without getting tired. All right, the first one, start slower than you think you need to go. One of the classic beginner running mistakes is that as soon as you get going, you're like a bull at a gate. You're going too fast, too soon. The best way to do any of your runs, especially when you're new and building your fitness, is to start at a pace which you think feels ridiculously slow and then slow down even more. If you're feeling good with 10 minutes left in your run, that's when you can start to pick it up. But don't get yourself all psychologically flustered and convince yourself that you're unfit, you're out of shape, you can't run, there's no way you're ever going to be able to reach your running goals because you're feeling puffed early in the run. Slow it down, come home a little bit quicker if you have to. The second thing, you've got to stay hydrated. Now, hydration is far more than just drinking water. It's really important to make sure you're replacing what you're losing when you're out there running. One of the best things that I recommend for your running performance is jump over to Precision Hydration. These guys are helping me out for my marathon preparation later in the year, and take their free sweat test. I've linked it in the description below. The reason you do that is because when you sweat, there's a whole range of things that leave your body. It's not just the water. These guys are going to help set you up with a particular hydration plan just for you, which is going to make sure that you're well and truly fueled and hydrated both before and after your runs. While we're on the subject of hydration and making sure you're well fueled, the third thing we want to focus on is making sure you're getting the nutrition that your body needs. Now, often when we go out for a run, we want to make sure that the carbohydrates that we're taking on board can be broken down simply. That's why things like white breads, white rice, pastas are really good a few hours or the night before. It can be broken down quite simply and stored in your muscles as a really effective fuel source. Beyond that, you also want to be making sure that you're getting all your fruits, all your vegetables. Make sure you're hitting those nutrition targets, because one of the most effective ways to keep you coming back for a run is making sure your body's in shape, your body's healthy, you're not run down and sick. So do a little bit of trial and error. Find what works for you when you're out there training. What is your best form of carb? What is your best form of energy? And make sure you're taking care of those little 1%ers, doing the things that we know we should be doing that often we ignore. The fourth thing we want to do is look after our running technique. Now, wherever you are in the world, I do one-on-one technique analysis via videos. You might be in America, you might be in Australia, you could be anywhere. If you would like to make some improvements to your own running technique, there's some very simple and effective ways to do this. Now, when it comes to conserving energy for the latter part of a race, or to make sure that you're out there not wasting on unnecessary technical moves that you might be making, this is a crucial key advantage, and it's often overlooked in running. So if you want a little more guidance, hit the link in the description and I'll help you out there. The next one, you want to find a running buddy. Look, running can be lonely sometimes. Sometimes that's nice. It gives us a chance to get out there, clear our head, get away from the stress of work and family or whatever else it is that's causing stress in your life. But every now and then, especially on our longer, more difficult sessions, it's nice to partner up with someone. A lot of towns, a lot of cities have running groups. They are not always something you have to pay for. So figure out what it is that you're actually training for, what you're trying to achieve, and see where it is in your area that there's some groups that are doing the things that you're already going to be doing, so that you can chat and have a little bit of fun when you're out there running. Eliud Kipchoge, world record holder over the marathon, says that his Monday run of 20 kilometers almost feels like more of a social event than a run, because he just gets out there with a whole heap of Kenyans. They laugh, have fun, chat, talk smack. Before you know it, the run is done. You've got 20K in your leg, or whatever it is that you're training for. But it's just felt like a good time. You want to mix up your running routes. Now, it's really important. You don't want to get out there and just do the same thing over and over again. Monotony is so boring when it comes to runs. Now, there might be a couple of runs during your week that you do the same thing. No worries, that's fine. One of my pet hates when I'm out doing my long run is just going around the same streets over and over again, up a dead end, back the other way, up a cul-de-sac over here, and just trying to make up those last couple of miles. Jump on Google Maps if you need to. Figure out, okay, where is there a good course? Where are there some potential long runs? Google has some great suggestions as to where it is you should be going for a run in the area that you're in. So especially if you're in a new town, go figure out where the other people run. Mixing up your routes is a great way to maintain enthusiasm and just to get to know the area that you live in. running is one of the most effective ways to see sights that you would often miss otherwise. So take advantage of this when you're out there on your feet. You want to do some stretching after your runs. Now, one of the worst feelings when you get up from a really hard session is going out and just trying to convince yourself that you're ready to go again. If stretching is a really effective way to overcome the DOMS, or delayed onset muscle soreness. It's nice to stretch out your calves, to stretch out your hamstrings and your quads and those other big, strong muscle groups that you're using a lot when you run, to give yourself the best opportunity to recover, but also to feel good when you start your run tomorrow. Incorporate just 10 minutes of stretching into your evening routine in front of the computer, in front of the TV, wherever it is you can find the time. It doesn't have to just be you on a mat doing it militantly. You can have a little bit of fun with a movie on in the background while you do it, but highly recommend a little bit of stretching. You want to schedule some rest and recovery days into your training routine. Now, depending on what stage of your routine you're in, it's going to vary how many rest days you have. If you're new, maybe you start with 3 or 4 rest days and reduce it as your running increases. On those rest days, perhaps, if you can afford it or if you can make the time, try and figure out what helps you recover most effectively. It doesn't always have to cost a fortune to do this either. If you've got a good wife like I do, ask her to give you a massage. Or you can just get stuck into your calves and your quads with your own thumbs. Massage guns are good. Ice baths are good. Go down to your gas station, your petrol station, get a bag of ice, put it in your bathtub and sit in there for a few minutes. It's bloody hard work, but really beneficial. There's a number of ways that people like to recover. Personally, I jump over in the water after most of my runs, live near the beach, thank God. So on the cold days especially, it's a real beneficial way. You find out what you like to do on your recovery days and implement that on a weekly basis. And the lucky last one is do a little bit of research on your breathing. I highly recommend the book by James Nestor titled Breath. Now, in this book, he speaks about the lost art of knowing how to breathe effectively. Essentially, he's a big advocate for nose breathing, and he breaks that down really effectively. The other book on this subject is The Oxygen Advantage by Patrick McKeown. Both of these guys highly respected in their industries, and they both speak about the benefits of nose breathing, particularly on your easier run. Now, they give some real practical guidance as to how you can implement that into your schedule. So if you're on Audible, listen to this on your run. If you like a hardback cover, I've linked all of those in the description below. So if you'd like to check any of that out, make sure you do. If you are after more resources from Relax Running, we have a training hub. It's only $5 a month, and it gives you access to bonus podcasts from the Relax Running podcast. Also, training articles. It gives you discounts on the who's who in the world of distance running treatment, all based on video. So wherever you are in the world, you can use that as well. And you can also chat with me about any of your running questions, concerns, or queries. So I hope that helps. Good luck with your running. Be patient. It does take time. Any questions, hit me up in the comments below. Otherwise, jump on board the training hub and I'll speak to you in there. Happy training, and I'll see you all here again next week.